The world had changed. Gone were the days of untamed wilderness. Humanity, in its pursuit of progress, had reshaped the planet. Towering cities pierced the sky, monuments to technological advancement. Yet in the shadow of this progress, a primal world still existed. A world where nature's laws reigned supreme. But even this untamed wilderness was not immune to human interference. Deep within a state-of-the-art facility, hidden from public view, a team of scientists embarked on a daring experiment. Their goal to protect endangered species from the brink of extinction, their method genetic manipulation, pushing the boundaries of science and nature. Animals, once on the verge of disappearing, were imbued with enhanced abilities. Strength, speed, intelligence traits amplified to ensure their survival. The scientists believed they were creating guardians, protectors of a fragile ecosystem. They were wrong. Their creation, a pack of genetically enhanced dogs, would soon become the harbingers of chaos. The dogs, bred for protection, had become the ultimate predators. Their enhanced senses sharpened their instincts to a razor's edge. Their heightened intelligence allowed them to strategize, to coordinate attacks with chilling precision. But it was their insatiable hunger that proved most dangerous. No longer content with their designated roles, the dogs craved more. Their engineered instincts, designed to protect the weak, were twisted into something primal, something sinister. The balance of the natural world, carefully maintained for millennia, began to crumble. The scientists, blinded by their ambition, failed to see the danger until it was too late. The pack, driven by their enhanced instincts, turned on their creators. The facility, once a symbol of human ingenuity, became a scene of carnage. Panic ensued as the scientists realized the magnitude of their mistake. Containment protocols failed. The pack, hungry and disoriented, broke free from the confines of their artificial world. They spilled out into the night, leaving behind the wreckage of their creation. Their destination, the vast expanse of the African Savannah, a land untouched by the technological advancements of the outside world. It was here, in the cradle of evolution, that the true consequences of the experiment would unfold. The dogs, an anomaly in this ancient landscape, were drawn to its raw power. The scent of prey, the thrill of the hunt, ignited a primal urge within them. The savannah, once a haven for diverse life, was about to become a battleground. The African savannah stretched before them, a tapestry of golden grasslands and acacia trees silhouetted against the setting sun. It was a land of giants where elephants roamed in majestic herds and lions ruled with primal authority. The air vibrated with the sounds of life, a symphony of chirping insects, trumpeting elephants, and the distant roar of a lion claiming its territory. For the pack of genetically enhanced dogs, this unfamiliar world was both exhilarating and daunting. Their enhanced senses were overwhelmed by the cacophony of scents and sounds. They moved cautiously, their instincts telling them that this was no place for caution. This was a place of raw power, where only the strong survived. The dogs, despite their enhanced abilities, understood that they were intruders in this ancient land. They were an anomaly, a glitch in the natural order, yet a primal instinct, amplified by their genetic manipulation, urged them forward. They were hunters, and the savannah was teeming with prey. The lions, accustomed to their position at the top of the food chain, were the first to sense the shift in the balance of power. They watched from the shadows, their golden eyes observing the strange new creatures that dared to intrude upon their domain. The dogs, smaller and swifter than the lions, possessed a chilling intelligence that belied their size. The first encounter was swift and brutal. A young lioness, separated from her pride, became the pack's first victim. The dogs, working in unison, their movements a blur of teeth and muscle, brought down their prey with terrifying efficiency. The lioness, caught off guard, never stood a chance. The news of the kill spread like wildfire through the savannah. The pack, emboldened by their success, grew bolder with each passing day. Their hunts became more daring, their targets more ambitious. They no longer shied away from the larger prey, their enhanced strength and speed allowing them to bring down zebras and wildebeests with ease. The elephants, despite their size and power, found themselves increasingly vulnerable to the pack's relentless attacks. The dogs, utilizing their intelligence, would target the calves, separating them from the herd and overwhelming them with sheer numbers. The savannah, once a sanctuary for these gentle giants, was becoming their graveyard. The very fabric of the savannah's ecosystem was unraveling. delicate balance maintained for millennia was shattered by the arrival of these genetically enhanced predators. The reign of the lions, unchallenged for generations, was crumbling before their very eyes. The winds of change, once a harbinger of life-giving rains, now carried a chilling message across the vast expanse of the savannah. The whispers of fear and uncertainty echoed from the watering holes to the acacia groves. The natural order, once a symphony of predator and prey, was falling into disarray.
Dr. Emma Carter, a renowned wildlife biologist, felt a knot of dread tighten in her stomach as she stepped off the small research plane that had brought her to the heart of the African savannah. The air, usually alive with the sounds of the wild, felt strangely muted, as if the land itself was holding its breath. Summoned by reports of unexplained disappearances and a disturbing silence that had fallen over the region, Dr. Carter and her team of researchers found themselves stepping into a mystery unlike any they had encountered before. The savannah, once teeming with life, now bore the heavy weight of an unseen threat. As they set up their base camp, a sense of urgency settled over the team. The whispers in the wind spoke of a power shift, a disturbance in the natural order that threatened to unravel the delicate balance of the savannah. Dr. Carter, her heart heavy with a growing sense of foreboding, knew that they were racing against time to uncover the truth behind the savannah's silence.
Days turned into weeks as Dr. Carter and her team ventured deeper into the heart of the mystery. The savannah, once a vibrant tapestry of life, now seemed to whisper tales of fear and loss. The usual abundance of wildlife had dwindled to a ghostly presence, the silence broken only by the rustling of leaves and the distant caw of a lone bird. The evidence of the unfolding tragedy was impossible to ignore.
The ground, once teeming with the tracks of countless animals, now bore the scars of a silent massacre. The remains of a lioness, her once powerful frame now reduced to scattered bones, lay undisturbed, a chilling testament to the ferocity of the unknown predator. Our initial investigations pointed towards a highly organized and efficient predator, one that possessed a level of intelligence and strategic cunning that defied explanation. The savannah, for all its harsh beauty, had never seen a predator like this before.
Dr. Carter, her brow furrowed in concentration as she examined the markings around a kill site, felt a shiver run down her spine. The precision of the attack, the absence of any struggle, spoke of a predator that was not only powerful, but also unnervingly intelligent. Deep within the heart of the savannah, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the parched landscape, a gathering of the savannah's most formidable creatures was taking place. The weight of desperation hung heavy in the air, a strange and unsettling unity forming between ancient rivals.
A grand old elephant matriarch, her weathered skin bearing the marks of countless seasons, extended her trunk in greeting to a scarred but regal lioness, the leader of her pride. The savannah, once their battleground for dominance, had become their shared sanctuary, a place where the lines between predator and prey had blurred in the face of a common threat.
The whispers of the wind, once carrying rumors of a phantom menace, now brought with them tales of fallen comrades, of once mighty predators vanishing without a trace.
The lioness, her amber eyes reflecting the fading light, shared the story of her sister's disappearance, her voice thick with grief and a smoldering rage.
The elephant matriarch, her gaze filled with ancient wisdom, spoke of the fear that had gripped her herd, of the calves snatched away in the dead of night. The savannah, once their inheritance, was slowly being transformed into a hunting ground, a place where survival was no longer guaranteed.
As the last rays of sunlight faded, giving way to a star-studded sky, a sense of grim determination settled over the gathering. The savannah, for all its apparent tranquility, was no stranger to hardship. It was a land forged in the fires of survival, where resilience was not just a virtue but a necessity.
The old elephant matriarch, her voice a rumbling echo of ancient storms, spoke of unity, of the strength that lay in numbers. The savannah, she reminded them, had always tested its inhabitants, forcing them to adapt or perish. The threat we face is new, alien to our world, but the will to survive, to protect our own, is as old as time itself.
The lioness, her lithe form tense with a controlled fury, spoke of strategy, of utilizing their knowledge of the land to their advantage. The savannah, with its vast plains and hidden watering holes, could be our weapon, if we are willing to fight. The time for fear is over. The time for resistance has come.
As the first rays of dawn pierced the darkness, casting a golden glow over the savannah, a sense of fragile hope took root. The echoes of the old elephant matriarch's words, "We will fight, we will endure, we will survive," resonated through the gathering, a rallying cry against the encroaching darkness. Instinct and raw power were no longer enough. The surviving animals of the savannah, pushed to the brink of extinction, were forced to adapt to learn the art of war.
The old elephant matriarch, her memory a vast library of survival, became their strategist, drawing upon generations of knowledge passed down through her lineage. She remembered tales of ancient droughts, of cunning predators, of the delicate dance between life and death that played out on the savannah for millennia. She knew that to defeat the pack, they had to exploit the very enhancements that made them so dangerous: their heightened senses, their unwavering focus, their insatiable hunger.
Under the watchful gaze of the setting sun, the savannah became a training ground. The lions, masters of stealth and speed, taught the elephants how to move silently, masking their presence in the tall grasses. The elephants in turn shared their knowledge of the terrain, guiding the lions to hidden pathways and watering holes. The alliance, forged in desperation, was slowly transforming into a formidable force. They were no longer disparate groups, each fighting for their own survival. They were a united front, bound by a common enemy and a shared will to protect their ancestral home. The savannah itself became their ally. The rustling leaves whispered warnings of approaching danger. The thorny acacia trees provided cover for ambushes. The very ground beneath their feet, baked hard by the relentless sun, concealed deadly traps designed to exploit the pack's enhanced speed and agility. The lions, their golden coats blending seamlessly with the tall grasses, became phantoms, their movements silent and deadly. Their roars, once a declaration of dominance, were now used sparingly, a psychological weapon to disorient and intimidate the enemy. The elephants, their massive forms no longer a liability, became living battering rams. Their tusks, honed to deadly points, were capable of impaling a predator with a single thrust. Their trunks, powerful enough to uproot trees, could toss a dog through the air with ease. The savannah, once a victim of the pack's relentless hunger, was now a labyrinth of danger, a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of its true heirs. The pack, initially caught off guard by the coordinated resistance, soon realized that the game had changed. The easy prey they had grown accustomed to hunting had vanished, replaced by a cunning and determined enemy that seemed to anticipate their every move.
The leader of the pack, a massive alpha male with piercing blue eyes and a scar that ran the length of his snout, felt a growing unease. His enhanced senses, once his greatest advantage, were now bombarded with conflicting signals. The savannah, once a symphony of scents and sounds, had become a silent, watchful enemy. The pack's hunts, once effortless displays of power, were now fraught with danger. Traps lay hidden beneath seemingly solid ground. Ambushes erupted from the undergrowth. The scent of prey would lead them in circles, only to vanish as quickly as it had appeared.
The alpha, his confidence shaken for the first time, realized that they were no longer the hunters. They had become the hunted. Section 4. The calm before the storm. A tense silence settled over the savannah, a palpable stillness that spoke of the coming storm. The air crackled with anticipation, the scent of ozone heavy in the air, as if nature itself was bracing for the inevitable clash. The sun, a fiery orb in the cloudless sky, reached its zenith, casting long, ominous shadows across the parched landscape. The savannah, usually abuzz with life at this hour, was eerily quiet. The only sound, the gentle rustling of leaves in the hot breeze.
Dr. Carter and her team, their base camp transformed into a fortified observation post, watched with bated breath as the data from their monitoring equipment painted a grim picture. The pack, driven by hunger and a growing sense of desperation, was on the move, heading towards the heart of the elephant's territory. The stage was set for a final epic confrontation, a battle that would determine the fate of the savannah and the creatures that called it home.
The ground trembled beneath the weight of charging giants. Dust billowed into the air, a reddish haze obscuring the savannah's harsh beauty. The pack, their enhanced senses on high alert, had walked into the heart of the elephant's territory, a carefully orchestrated trap designed to exploit their primal instincts. The air crackled with tension, the silence shattered by the trumpeting of elephants and the snarling of dogs. The lions, hidden in the tall grass, watched with bated breath as the two forces collided, their own role in this desperate gambit about to unfold. The first charge was breathtaking in its raw power. Elephants, their massive heads lowered, their tusks gleaming like ivory swords, slammed into the pack's flank, scattering dogs like leaves in a hurricane. The ground shook, the very air displaced by the force of the impact. The pack, momentarily stunned but far from defeated, regrouped, their snarls echoing across the savannah. Section 2, a symphony of fury. The savannah, once a place of serene beauty, transformed into a maelstrom of dust, blood, and fury. The elephants, their initial charge blunted, now relied on their sheer size and power, their trunks lashing out like whips, their massive feet crushing anything that came within their reach. The pack, realizing they couldn't overpower their adversaries, resorted to guerrilla tactics, utilizing their speed and agility to harry the elephants, darting in and out, inflicting painful bites before retreating to safety. Their enhanced senses allowed them to anticipate the elephants' movements, exploiting any weakness, any hesitation. The lions, sensing an opportunity, emerged from their hiding places, their roars slicing through the chaos. Their strategy, honed over generations of hunting, focused on isolating and overwhelming individual dogs, their claws raking, their teeth tearing at exposed flanks. The air was thick with the stench of sweat, blood, and fear. The savannah floor, once a tapestry of golden grass, was now churned earth, stained crimson with the blood of both predator and prey. Section 3. The Alphas Stand. The alpha dog, his blue eyes blazing with a cold fire, watched the chaotic battle unfold with a growing sense of unease. His pack, despite their enhanced abilities, was losing ground, their movements becoming desperate, their attacks lacking their initial coordination. He had underestimated the enemy. These creatures, these elephants and lions, were fighting with a ferocity he had never encountered before. They were defending their home, their families, and their will to survive burned brighter than any genetic enhancement. The alpha, realizing that the tide of battle was turning against them, knew he had to take matters into his own paws.
He barked out a command, a high-pitched whine that cut through the din, calling his pack away from the elephants, regrouping them for a final desperate gamble. He would face the enemy head-on, a diversion to allow the survivors of his pack to escape. He was the alpha, the strongest, the fastest, and he would not go down without a fight.
Section 1. The savannah's resilience. Silence descended upon the savannah, a stark contrast to the symphony of fury that had just unfolded. The air, still thick with the metallic scent of blood, carried a new whisper, the soft sigh of relief, of a battle won, of a home defended. The dust settled, revealing a scene of both devastation and rebirth. The ground, scarred and churned, bore witness to the ferocity of the struggle, while the setting sun, a fiery orb dipping below the horizon, painted the savannah in hues of hope and renewal.
Dr. Carter and her team emerged from their makeshift bunker, their faces etched with a mixture of awe and relief. They had witnessed a clash of titans, a primal struggle for survival that had tested the very limits of nature's resilience. The savannah, wounded but not broken, was already beginning to heal, the cycle of life and death continuing its eternal dance. The cost of victory, however, weighed heavily on their hearts. The ground was littered with the fallen, both predator and prey united in death. The pack, their reign of terror brought to an end, lay scattered across the battlefield, their enhanced bodies no match for the combined might of the savannah's true guardians. As the last rays of sunlight faded, Dr. Carter made a silent vow. The secret of the enhanced dogs, a testament to humanity's hubris, would be buried, the research data destroyed. The savannah had shown them the folly of interfering with a natural order, a lesson etched in the scars of battle and the whispers of the wind.
Section 1. Legacy of the Pack. Seasons passed, the relentless cycle of life and death sweeping across the savannah like a cleansing fire. The scars of battle, once stark reminders of the Pack's reign of terror, slowly faded, reclaimed by the tenacious embrace of nature. The elephants, their herds thinned but their spirits unbroken, resumed their ancient migrations, their rumbles echoing across the plains, a testament to their enduring strength. The lionesses, their prides bearing the legacy of the fallen, taught their cubs the ancient ways of the hunt, instilling in them a deep respect for the delicate balance of their world. The savannah, no longer a silent battleground, echoed once more with the symphony of life, a chorus of chirping insects, rustling leaves, and the distant roar of a lion claiming its birthright. Yet the legacy of the pack lived on, a cautionary tale whispered on the wind.
Dr. Carter, her research station now a sanctuary for orphaned animals, often found herself gazing towards the horizon, her heart heavy with a mixture of sorrow and hope. The Savannah had survived, its resilience a testament to the enduring power of the natural world. But the memory of the pack, a stark reminder of humanity's potential for both creation and destruction, lingered in the shadows, a silent guardian against the hubris of progress. The Savannah, forever changed by their passing, stood as a testament to the wild heart of nature, a force far older and more powerful than any experiment could ever hope to contain.